we got to get comfortable with feeling the fear and doing it anyway in 2025. I want you to pick one thing today that you are so afraid of doing and make a commitment to yourself that by the end of 2025, you are going to take at least one action towards doing that scary thing. I promise you, your life will change. If you actually wake up every morning and say, each day I'm going to do at least one thing that scares me, you will be a different person by the end of 2025. Mark my words. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Reel It In. I'm your host, Reed Cox, and this is your go-to destination for self-improvement and creating the life you've always desired, all while keeping it real. And today's episode is our very first episode of 2025. Let's all take a deep breath together. We made it through 2024. We have now entered 2025. I know this is going to be our best year yet as a channel, my best year yet for me personally, and I know it's going to be your best year yet as well. And today we are going to be talking about how we can all reach our full potential in 2025. I know there are tons of goal setting videos out there. We're not going to necessarily talk about how to set goals, but we are going to be talking about these very specific mindset shifts that we can create that allow us to actually achieve our goals. Because you can make so many goals and you can focus on goal setting, but if your mindset isn't right, and if you're not actually taking actions around your goals to set yourself up to actually take the actions you need to take to achieve your goals, you're really not going to achieve much. But today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite mindset hacks that are, I promise you, they're going to make a massive shift in your year. But before we get into it, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you never miss a future episode. Hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I love communicating with y'all in the comments. Oh, and one last thing. We have a big announcement. We just reached 1,000 subscribers. It was my goal for 2024 to reach 1,000 subscribers. I actually hit the goal on January 2nd. And I actually love that I hit it on January 2nd, which wasn't necessarily in the timetable I wanted to achieve the goal because, so we set goals for many reasons. The main reason we set goals is to actually have a target to aim at and a reason to get up every morning and work towards something. If you don't have a goal in life, it's really easy to fall into complacency, to fall into a slight depression, or just feeling like you don't have purpose. But when we have goals, it's really easy to get up every day and know exactly which actions we're going to take. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because just because you don't achieve your goal in the time frame that you had originally set doesn't mean you're going to hit it. I hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers 2 days after I had originally set to hit my goal, and I could have easily just given up when the clock hit midnight on New Year's Eve and said, well, I didn't reach my goal. I'm just 2 subscribers away. But instead, I was like, oh my God, I'm only 2 subscribers away. And I guarantee you, if I had not set that goal of having 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, I don't think I would have hit this goal by January 2nd. I think I would have probably taken more time. I wouldn't have waken up each morning as hungry to meet my goal. And I just want to thank everyone here for watching this channel. If you're new to the channel, we're so happy you're here. If you've been a long-time viewer, well, I guess not a long time. I started this channel in May of 2024. But if you have been a viewer since the beginning, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Your support and your interest in the channel and everything that I'm sharing just means the world to me. And I cannot wait for 2025. We are going to have so many amazing videos, so much amazing content for y'all, and we're just going to keep growing. So without further ado, here are my top tips for how to reach your full potential in 2025. Tip number 1. Have fun with it. Don't be so serious. So when we have a lot of big goals and we feel like the pressure is on, I personally feel like I'm in a place in my life where so much is changing with me in my personal life that I feel a lot of pressure to meet my career goals. But when there's so much pressure on us, it is so easy to let that pressure drown us and we lose all of the fun. When you approach your goals from a mindset of how can I make this as fun as possible? How can I have fun on this crazy ride of achieving my dreams? You're gonna reach your goals way quicker than if instead you had the mindset of, oh my gosh, I've got to achieve this by this time. I've got to do this. that's more of a restrictive energy. We're trying to have more of an expansive energy around our goals. And I know it's really tricky. For most of my 20s, whenever I had a goal, I really did have that restricted, really strict energy where it made it hard for me to actually enjoy the process because I was so focused on the pressure that I had to achieve my goal. And I was also beating up on myself when I wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve within the time I wanted to achieve it. So the first thing you got to do is make sure every morning when you wake up, set the intention of having fun with your goals. Have fun as you're achieving what you want to achieve. And really try to come to each day with the mindset of fun and play rather than putting all this pressure on yourself to achieve your goals, which is going to just make it's going to take more time, you know? Tip number 2, get comfortable being cringe. Okay. I know cringe is kind of like a hip word. Some of you know what it means, some of you don't. Cringe to me is like, okay, before I started posting on YouTube, I was so afraid of posting because I was like, people are going to think I'm cringe. People are going to be like, why is she doing that? People are going to think that my stuff I'm putting out is cheesy or not helpful or cringe, like gives you like the ick. Whatever you put out into the world, whether it's on YouTube, on social media, whether it's starting a business, there's going to be at least a handful of people who are going to think you are cringe. And if there's the biggest piece of advice I could give you in this video is get over being cringe. You're going to embarrass yourself. In order to actually have an impact on the world, you've got to get comfortable with being cringe and embarrassing yourself, because there are going to be times when you put yourself out and it's going to hit and people are going to love what you're putting down. And then there are going to be times when people are just going to be like, nah, I really don't get it. And honestly, she looks kind of dumb. There's always going to be someone who's going to be a hater. There's always going to be someone who thinks you're cringe. But when you get comfortable with that and know that that's expected, it really does. You're able to give yourself permission to take chances when you wouldn't otherwise. If you're so concerned about what other people think of you, you're never going to actually give yourself permission to put yourself out into the world and to take chances that could actually lead to your biggest successes. So do what you need to do to get over the fact that you're going to be cringe at some points in time, and just know that there's always going to be at least one person whose day and mindset is shifted because they saw your video or whatever you put out into the world. Tip number 3, do things that scare you. Kind of piggybacking off of tip number 2, this year, I want y'all to really get comfortable getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that scare you. It was so scary to start this YouTube channel. It was so scary to start my blog. It was so scary to move to Los Angeles and become an actress at the age of 18. But I felt the fear and did it anyway. And we got to get comfortable with feeling the fear and doing it anyway in 2025. I want you to pick one thing today that you are so afraid of doing and make a commitment to yourself that by the end of 2025, you are going to take at least one action towards doing that scary thing. I promise you, your life will change. If you actually wake up every morning and say, each day I'm going to do at least one thing that scares me, you will be a different person by the end of 2025. Mark my words. As a matter of fact, if you know of that one thing that you're scared to do, that you know you want to do, but you're so scared of doing, go ahead and throw it in the comments so we can all gather around and cheer each other on. I'm a firm believer in having cheerleaders and support systems and sharing your goals. Go ahead and drop it in the comments so we can all gather around you and cheer you on. For me, I'm going to be posting way more videos here on YouTube. It really scares me, the idea of the amount of time it's going to take, but I know I'm going to love every second of it. So I'm committing to putting out at least 1 to 2 videos every single week here on YouTube in 2025. And I know it's going to transform my life. Tip number 4, unlearn perfection. And I want everyone to repeat after me. This is our new mantra in 2025. Done is better than perfect. So many times when we have a project that we're working on, a business that we want to launch, anything that we want to put out into the world or share with others, we can work on it. But when it comes time to actually unleash it into the world, we talk ourselves out of doing it because we tell ourselves it's not perfect. I could always improve it. Guess what? Everything could have been improved. Before I put this video out, I could have probably made so many other tweaks to it and made it better. But Instead, I'm going to keep my word to myself and put this out on Sunday or Saturday, maybe even a day early. I'm going to put it out this week because I made that commitment. And we really have to get comfortable with done is better than perfect, because you could take forever. I could take a year tweaking this video and making it perfect, but then no one would ever hear what I have to say. And before you know it, it'll be 2026 and this year will have passed. But really take a look at yourself when it comes to putting things out into the world. Usually we say that things have to be perfect when we're actually just afraid of rejection. Let me say that again. Usually we say things have to be perfect because we are afraid of rejection. If you're working really hard on a project and it comes down to the time when you're supposed to unleash it to the world and you say it's not ready yet, it's not perfect, usually it is good enough. Usually you're good enough. And I just want you, sometimes things do take a little bit longer than the deadline, but I really do think 99% of the time, whatever you've been working so hard on is actually ready to go out into the world. And you actually need to do the work in yourself to get comfortable with things not being perfect and get comfortable with the fact that some people might not like it and you might feel rejected. But just do that work and just know that whatever you put out into the world, at least one person is going to love it and it's going to change someone's life, and that should be enough, okay? So we're not going to hold ourselves back with this idea that everything has to be perfect with perfectionism. Let go of the pressure to be perfect in all areas of your life, as a matter of fact. Whether it's the way you look, if you're like in the gym a lot and your goal is to like get your dream body this year, your body is never gonna look perfect. Also, you might achieve the perfect body, but then the next day, it's not gonna look perfect either. If you're a woman, our bodies fluctuate all the time. Get comfortable loving yourself no matter how you look, even if you're not reaching your fitness goals or your body doesn't look how you want it to. I mean, that's a whole other video and a whole other topic, but you only get one life to live. This is your one life. Make a commitment to not go another day not liking how you look and not deeming yourself worthy of love and everything you want because your body isn't perfect like you think it should look. That's a whole other thing. So we're going to embrace the power of imperfection. Done is better than perfect. You're going to be golden. Tip number 5, set realistic goals, but that also stretch you, okay? So if you haven't made $1,000 in your life and your goal is to make $1 million, that might not be realistic. Your subconscious mind might not even be able to grasp onto that. Instead, why don't you say your goal is to make 5,000 or 1,000, a smaller number, a number that you know is possible for you, but you know that in order to achieve it, you will have to stretch yourself. So for me personally, my goals are goals that I know are possible on a certain timeline for me to achieve, but I know that in order to achieve it, I really have to get up every day and want it and work my ass off to make it happen. Do you see what I'm saying? You want them to be smart goals that are possible, but you also want to make them to the point where they'll stretch you. If I made like 10K a month last year and my goal is to make 10K a month again this year, that really isn't stretching me. Why don't we say 11K, 12K, 13K? Something that's going to really stretch you and is going to give you a reason to get up in the morning and work harder than you have before. You see what I'm saying? So make them attainable, but also allow them to stretch you. Also, for your goals, it might be best, so let's say you want to get in shape. Rather than hitting a certain number on the scale, make it a goal where it's like, I'm going to work out 3 days a week at the gym. 3 days. Make it actionable, not a number. Make it, I'm going to take these actions each day, and that's going to be my goal by the end of each day to make these actions, not necessarily the thing at the end. Does that make sense? Tip number 5, don't take yourselves too seriously. Y'all, there's some of y'all out there who take yourselves way too seriously, and all it does is just hold you back. It holds you back from being honest. It holds you back from being vulnerable. It holds you back from taking action because you think like you've got to act perfect, or I don't even know how to say it. Just don't take yourself too seriously. Like, okay, if you want to start if you want to share something with the world, this is what I think you should do. If you have something to share with the world, but you think that you're above like the hustle it takes to achieve it, start a YouTube channel. I know it might be kind of cringe to see these young creators coming out and putting out a bunch of videos with like 2 followers. But I started my channel in May and now I have 1,000 subscribers and I was consistent. I did have months of not being so consistent, but I was pretty consistent. And look at the following I have grown. And I haven't advertised for this channel on my Instagram, on any other platform. It's just been on YouTube. So once you get through the cringe, then everyone's like, oh, look at her. But I didn't wake up and have 1,000 subscribers. Do you know what I mean? So my point is, when we wrap it up back to the idea of not taking yourself too seriously, you're not better than everyone else. Like you can start something new and fresh and start from the ground up and be someone who's starting something new at the beginning stages of something. You don't have to just like show up on YouTube and have like 100,000 subscribers in order to be deemed important or valuable. Don't take yourself too seriously. Put yourself out there. Don't hide. Don't take yourself too seriously and be funny, be goofy. Let your personality come out. Like, life's too short to take yourself so seriously. Like this 2025, I want it to be the year where we're just like having fun. We're taking chances. We're trying new things. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. And I really do think a lot of y'all are going to find, one, you're a lot happier, but two, you actually get what you want when you stop taking yourself so seriously. When you take yourself really seriously, it's hard to get what you want. Okay, number 7. Are we on number 7 now? I kind of lost count. Number 7, reflect and adjust as necessary. Reflect and adjust as necessary. So let's say you made a goal for yourself at the beginning of the year and it's just not working out. Like you're trying, but you're not really lit up by it anymore. Change your goal or reflect on that goal and change how you're going to attain it. Lots of times when we set goals at the beginning of the year, we feel like we've got to be so rigid and like stick to the game plan, but things are going to change and life's going to throw things at you. I already know like something's going to happen. I already know of one thing that's going to happen this year that like I'm expecting happening, but like I know it's going to really rock our world in a good way. But I'm like, I'm going to have to adjust all of my goals and my plans when this happens. It's going to be exciting, but it's like when you go into the year, just like knowing you're going to be okay with adjusting and taking things as they come and being malleable, you're going to be able to ride the waves of life way easier and you're going to be able to achieve your goals easier. I mean, the last thing you want is to start out the year with so many great goals that are so attainable and then have life give you something that kind of takes a bit more energy away from your goals, but then give up on your goals. Don't give up on your goals. Just like, no, you can't wake up every day and put your all into it. Maybe you can put an hour a week into it, but being able to adjust and reassess is so important. So don't be afraid to do that and don't beat yourself up if you have to do that, okay? Number 8, celebrate all of your wins, big or small. I am the person who's going to be celebrating every single small win, no matter how small it is. My fiance is so funny. I'm like, yes, I taped an audition and I really liked it. And he's like, well, don't celebrate before you get it. I'm like, well, I got the audition in the first place, which is like a huge accomplishment. And two, like, I'm really proud of what I did. So why not celebrate it? It makes life more fun and makes the whole process of achieving your dreams more fun. So don't feel like you can't celebrate any wins unless it's your big win or the big achievement of your goal. Celebrate your small wins. I'm like, hey, I got up this morning and I went to Pilates. That's a huge win. I didn't want to go. So celebrate every single win, big or small. And number 9, practice saying no and protect your energy. I know it's easy to want to be a yes person. I've always been a yes girl. I've always said yes to this and to that and every opportunity. But as I've gotten older, I'm starting to realize that I really do need to work on protecting my energy and saying no more often. Like I had like if I have an offer for something and I've already been there, done that, and it'll be more of a favor to the person rather than me gaining anything. Sometimes you do want to give favors to people. I do that all the time. But if it's something for your career, be okay with saying no and knowing your worth and knowing you've already leveled up to the next level and you're not going back. You're looking up here at this level. You're not still down at here at this level. And also saying no to social gatherings that you just know are going to drain your energy. I had something the other day where I was invited out and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to go, but I feel like I should go. And then I went and then it was fun, but I got home and I was just like drained for like 2 days later. And I'm glad I actually went because it really reminded me of I need to protect my energy and I really need to get clear on what's important to me for 2025. So by the end of 2025, I'm not like, oh, I said yes to all these social gatherings. And in return didn't achieve my goals. And I'm someone like I love my girlfriends. Like I'm such a social butterfly. Like I love my girlfriends. I love my people so much. And I want to say yes to hanging out and seeing my people. And also I'm surrounded by so many amazing, inspiring people. Like every time I hang out with my girlfriends, we all leave feeling like our cup is full and so inspired. But this year I'm really going to get good at knowing when I should be social and when I should be at home focusing on my goals. So get good at saying no, get good at practicing your energy, and you are going to be great. Okay, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful. I am so excited about 2025. It's gonna be such an amazing year. Again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We are so excited about having you as a part of the community. Leave me a comment if you're new. Leave me a comment if you have anything to add or if you disagree with anything I said or just wanna chat a bit more in the comments. I'm so grateful for all of y'all. I can't believe we hit 1,000 subscribers in this community, and I'm so excited for everything this year has in store. So thank you for being here, and I'll see y'all next time.